Oh,
You should be good.
okay. All right. Well, everybody, today we are coming to you live. Press start. Welcome to all our wonderful Alpha Nerd Guild members out there. I'm Daniel, and with me today is Roshan. How you doing today, Roshan?
Doing right, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good. What you been up to?
Oh man, today past 2 weeks have been crazy. Haven't got to do much, but started off the past 2 weeks reading Scooby Apocalypse, which has been so much fun. I can honestly say it's been like out of left field for me.
So now, is that a graphic novel or what is it?
Well, it's a comic series by DC Comics, and it's got a whole bunch of covers by Jim Lee. But it takes the whole Scooby gang that we love and just completely flips them on their heads.
Okay.
You don't start off with a group that just came together and just solves mysteries. This group was brought there specifically to take down a corporation, and it was Daphne and Fred and Scooby. Oh no, I'm sorry, Daphne and Fred. And Scooby works at the corporation along with Velma. And Scooby is the handler of Scooby. Or I'm sorry, Shaggy is the handler of Scooby Doo.
Right.
Who is basically being genetically altered so he can talk and do other things.
Okay.
But it turns when the people that Velma work for release this, for lack of a better word, virus across the entire world that basically monsterfies everybody except for them.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm a big Scooby fan, so I definitely will have to check that out then. Is it, obviously, I'm sure it's darker than the original series, especially being DC and all that. So, yeah, that could be pretty interesting. So what else have you been up to?
Well, after this past week has been rough in the wrestling world with King Kong Bundy dying.
Right.
I just so happened to get a copy of Andre the Giant.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've been reading that, and it's actually signed by and drawn in by Box Brown.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I got that from the Whole Rough and Show podcast, and let's see. I've been watching a lot of my kids been watching a lot of Dino Saucers and Samurai Pizza Cats lately.
I don't know what either of those are, but I also don't have any kids, so yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime, look up Dino Saucers and look up Samurai Pizza Cats. Dino Saucers is something I grew up with, but Samurai Pizza Cats is completely crazy.
Dino Saucers?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Interesting.
Dinos that evolved, and they're aliens now, but they come back to Earth, and they're basically just as smart, if not smarter than all the humans. So
interesting.
How about yourself, man? What you been up to this week?
Well, I started getting back to the gym, so that takes up a lot of time outside of work. Decided I need to get in some better health. The gut was getting a little out there, but other than that, mostly watching. Like I watch an episode or two of How I Met Your Mother. I love that show. I don't care what everybody says. It cracks me up. So I watched that, and then I just picked up Devil May Cry 5 and loving it. It's a good game, good hack and slash, a lot of fun. Pretty good progression as far as unlocking skills and equipment and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely if anybody that's ever been a fan of the series definitely needs to check it out. But other than that, yeah, I really haven't done much. I'm finishing up a review of a game called Treasure Stacker. Just a pretty simple little puzzle game, and kind of like Tetris and kind of a mix between Tetris and the Jewel Blitz or something like that. but it's not bad. So I'm working on the review. I'll have that up today. But that's about it for me for this week, honestly. Other than working a lot. But yeah, so today we are going to be talking about Marvel, and specifically the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. So now Roshan here, he's basically an expert on the subject, big comic book fan and everything like that. So I'll let you go ahead and start us off here.
All right. Well, as everybody knows, Thursday night, Captain Marvel finally landed, much to the, I can't even say, like, pleasing / dismay of many. But
it's one of those movies. Yeah. You either love it or hate it, or somewhere. I mean, I don't know. I think too many people go too far one way or the other.
Yep, I totally agree. But because of that, like you said, we're going to go into the Marvel movies. And to start off, wanted to talk about most favorite and least favorite Marvel movies. Okay, I'll start off with my least favorite, just to get the negative out of the way. My absolute least favorite Marvel movie is Thor: The Dark World. And it's such a, I don't know, it's so different. I had no love for the characters. Loved Thor, loved Loki, loved Natalie Portman. I say Natalie Portman.
Right.
Sorry, loved Jane, but
right.
could not get into it. Could not get into the villain at all. And I love Eccleston. I love Steve. I just don't understand that. Just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Of the Thor movies, it's definitely the worst. But I still enjoy it. Yeah, I think if you're really involved in the Marvel universe, especially outside the cinematic universe, I could definitely see that being one that would just rub you the wrong way, basically. For me, it wasn't so bad because I never got into the comic books too much. So I can take it as entertaining. But as far as least favorite, and this might be a little controversial, but Iron Man 2. I loved the first Iron Man, but I don't know what it was about the second one. It kind of like you, I couldn't get into the villain. What's his name?
Whiplash.
Yeah, I couldn't get into Whiplash. I don't know, something. And the actor, I actually really like.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke. I love that, him as an actor, but for some reason it just didn't just sit right with me. I don't know why, but so I had trouble getting into it, and so I've only seen it. And now that's one thing, I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once, I think. So I need to watch it again. Maybe I'll like it better the second time. But it was just one at the time I just couldn't get into. Still not a bad movie or anything. It was entertaining, but not compared to the rest of them, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, a little controversial on that one because I know a lot of people absolutely love it. So.
I love that movie only because it's got the Mark V suit in it, and I've always loved the suitcase suit. So,
well, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But so flipping from that, my favorite Marvel movie to this day, it's still Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty popular opinion. I mean, it is a great movie, done very well. But it's not my favorite. Well, first off, what makes it your favorite?
So I'm huge into the Captain America books. Back when Ed Brubaker was doing them, I have all the omnibuses and just absolutely love the story of Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So when they finally did it, for one, they did it justice. For two, Sebastian Stan coming back from Bucky the way he did was just he did a killer job. If he's probably he's definitely in my top 5 of all time actors in the MCU.
Yeah,
and he was just great.
Yeah, I can see that. And this is one that just drives. I can't give you a specific movie. I mean, I truly love Avengers, the original Captain America: Civil War, and of course then brain fart with Thanos. The last one, the Avengers.
Infinity War.
Yeah, thank you. The setup and the lead to it just was done so well, and I mean, I'm so excited for Endgame. I mean, that is just going to be phenomenal. I mean, and it's supposed to be 3 hours long. Like other people are saying, like, "Oh man, I got to sit there for 3 hours." I was like, "Yes, they're actually going to put in everything that's supposed to be in there." So I'm pretty excited. That whole scenario, like I love all the side stories, all the the Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, all these separate stories, but it's how they bring them all together in those movies that I think makes them so amazing. Civil War, especially, I would almost say that's my favorite. Just the way they bring in Ant-Man and Spider-Man and everything into it, and it creates that drama within the group that's played up so well that leads to, of course, Captain America going off and being. I just love it. I would have to say Civil War is my favorite. So
understandable, because it was such a good movie. I mean, and like you said, introduction of Ant-Man to the group and introduction to Spider-Man to the MCU was just amazing.
Now after Endgame, we'll see. That might take my top after that. So I'm so excited for it. It's the last trailer that they had for it when it was like the comparison of the basically you have almost like it's a flashback or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like with Captain America, losing the beard and going back and forth, and it's like, what are they doing with it? I'm so excited to see how they're playing it out. It's going to be interesting. So, but yeah, that's that. I would say that's my favorite, though. Civil War.
Well, I mean, you hit upon a lot of the big hitting groups right there. So how about we go with favorite and least favorite character next? We say, I'll let you do this one first. This is this was kind of hard for me with least favorite, but I got it.
And see, the least favorite, I don't know, because I love them. I love most of them. And now, all right, let me qualify this. And it's only at certain points that certain characters really bug me. Like it's not that they're my least favorite character all the time. It's just that I would have to say that even I don't know, because sorry, I just can't decide. Yeah, but I would have to say at one point in time it was Iron Man even.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was because of Civil War. With the way he acted in it, it was just like and that, some of that's just my own personal opinions about how things should be. Not even necessarily in the MCU, but like some of his actions towards Captain America it bugged me, and I don't know. He just couldn't get behind the group. I think he's in my opinion, he's the reason that the group split up.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that was a huge thing in the movies with him, was he had this huge father complex, and then you see Captain America, and you see how Tony's dad interacted with Captain America. Tony never had that,
right?
And then he finds out, okay, Captain America's alive. Here's this dude that my dad actually hung out with, and come to find out, his best friend killed my dad.
Right.
That's the reason I never got to move on with my life, and he kept it from me, even though we'd been good buds. I could totally understand that. He was I'm not gonna say the word. Robert Downey Jr. played that part well, and yeah, that was a really low part for Stark because of that.
Absolutely, but and that's the thing. At that point in time, just right then, was when he was my least favorite character of pretty much the entire series of movies, the universe. He's the one that just made everything come to what it is now in the universe there, and it's just like, and it's all because of him, in my opinion. It was just one of those moments where I just, but that's also what makes the movie so great. Is it really makes me have those emotions, making me have some feels, and because he did such an amazing job, but like I said, at the same time, I just couldn't stand him right then. So, but yeah, it is what it is.
I will say that's kind of a good segue into my favorite or my least favorite character, Star-Lord.
Yeah, I know exactly why.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge cosmic Marvel nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I had all the ROM books back in the day, Nova. You name it, I had it, and it was all my dad gave to me. And when they said that they were doing Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, yes, okay, Annihilation. I just finished reading Annihilation. This is going to be amazing. Loved Guardians of the Galaxy. Part 2, no, it's right behind Or the Dark World for me.
And that's I'm kind of, it's like my second least favorite as well. Yeah.
But then you get to Endgame, then you get to Infinity War.
Right.
And I understand how they laid the building blocks in Guardians 1 and 2, where Peter was taken as a kid. He didn't really get the whole emotional human interaction deal, so he never really grew up.
Yep.
So when that happens to Gamora and he doesn't care about the rest of the universe and does what he does, I was like, this is the lowest of the low for the character. And now that I don't like the character, they made me not like him.
Right.
The way they did his character. So, it's kind of like wrestling. You have the bad guy that you love to hate. At that point, it's like that for me with him right now. I love him, but I hate him because his choices.
You're right, and that's it. It's like I had to kind of choose between those two because that moment, and the same with Iron Man. It's like very similar in the exact same way. And yeah, when he does that, he literally just kind of killed all those people in a way. Would they have actually been able to get the gauntlet off? And there's a what ifs there, but still, yeah, definitely. I would definitely say that moment, he was my second least favorite of all time at that point. So I'm right there with you, man. Yeah.
Well, then how about your favorite character?
That one is actually surprisingly easy. It's Thor. I absolutely love Thor. I do enjoy the Dark World. Like I said, it's entertaining. And it's Thor, so I was pretty happy. But just his character, the transition, in the first movie, his, the all gung ho warrior, all it is about the fight, and that's it. To this, truly becoming a leader, and worthy of the hammer, and now Stormbreaker, of course. And then and I'm still, one of my favorite moments is in Ragnarok, when he's going into the Colosseum, and Hulk comes out. He's like, "Yeah, I love it, man! I died. That fight scene too was between him and the Hulk, was just fantastic. They did such a great job. And when he calls down the lightning, oh man, yes, so perfectly done. And the way and that's it. He is completely opposite of Star-Lord, when he knows exactly what he needs to go do to be able to save everybody. He's willing to sacrifice himself or a few other people if need be to get Stormbreaker, because he knows that's what he needs to go and defeat Thanos. And so it's that intuition, that intelligence, wisdom, in a way that he now wields, is just pretty amazing. Although, why didn't he go for the head? I mean, seriously. But beyond that, still, just such a great character, and he's been there for so long. Just his progression throughout the whole, all the movies is amazing to me, and just his personality. I love his particular type of humor, as well. He's definitely got a warrior's humor. So, just my type of guy. As you can see, I'm rather Nordic as well in my upbringing, so that kind of plays into it too.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what about you? Who's your favorite?
Mine's, just like you. Mine's a no-brainer. It's Captain America. It's kind of a two-parter though, because I absolutely loved how they took this guy, how they took Chris Evans, who was probably the perfect Human Torch.
Uh-huh.
How they took him and also from being not another teen movie, how they took this guy.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Captain America.
I forgot about not another teen movie. Oh my gosh, that movie was ridiculous.
Like, as soon as they cast him, I was like, this can either go really bad or really good.
Right.
And seeing from the very first shot of Captain America all the way up to now, that guy has embodied Captain America the entire way, and nobody will ever be able to go ahead and take his place.
I absolutely 100% agree. He's always stood firm in his resolve and just what he believes in, and I mean he embodies he is the epitome of a soldier, of a leader soldier, and so I can he would be my second favorite. The only reason he isn't up to Thor with me is because I don't see as much progression. He embodies it so perfectly throughout that he doesn't seem to change a lot. He doesn't. There isn't a lot of progression in the character. I mean, there was, because of Winter Soldier and within Civil War and all that. There was definitely some progression there, but it just wasn't as pronounced as it was with the. I think that's really why Thor kind of took over for me over Captain America. But yeah, I do agree with you that Captain America is definitely, I would say, my number two favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, his movies have usually, like, the first movie to me felt like an Indiana Jones movie. Yeah.
Right.
Totally got behind that. But I mean, like you said, he hasn't had much in the way of character progression. It's that he has from that alley where he's taking a beating and he says he can do this all day. He has stood hard in his resolve and he has played it the entire way. He is morally obligated to his character at this point.
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely.
Why I like most about it, because a lot of people are wishy-washy nowadays, and he just he won't take it. He will not change for anyone.
Yeah.
So after we got those, what about movies you can't wait to see or wait to happen, and then characters you can't wait to see?
Well, Endgame, obviously. I mean that is the number one. I mean, I'm so excited, and we got 2 months. That 2 months can't go quick enough. Other movies, I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man: Far From Home, and one of those reasons is because of who's in it, who is also one of those characters that I'm really excited to see, Mysterio. Just going to be, I can't wait. There's going to be so much really cool stuff in there. So I'm excited for those specifically.
Well, I hear you. And had you not taken mine, I would have said that. So
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I will say, now that they've announced parts of Phase 4, I'm looking forward to the Eternals. I kind of touched on it earlier. I'm a huge Marvel Cosmic fan, so read all the Eternals growing up. Couldn't get enough of it. You know, I read the, not reboot, but when they called them back in the early 2000s. I can't wait for. I
hate to say it, but I know next to nothing about them. Like, that is one that I've heard little bits and pieces here and there, but haven't read anything, nothing like that.
It's so far removed from what they're doing right now. It's another one of those things. It's either going to go really well or really bad.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can bring it into the MCU fold immediately, like proper, with everybody else. So I don't know. I'm excited to see that movie, but in the spirit of characters I wanted to see, besides Icarus and the rest of them, I want to see Nova. I want to see Richard Rider. I don't want to see Sam. I want to see Richard Rider come out from nowhere. I don't care what movie he comes in. I just want Richard Rider and Nova to come out immediately. It's been upsetting me since they put Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. Okay. Like I said, I never got huge into those comic books, so I can't. I wish I could comment more, but I'm like, okay, Nova, yay.
Yeah, he's got a storied background, but still, I mean, one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. So I'm hoping to get him soon.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to, just based off of your opinion there, I'll have to check it out then, so I can get caught up before, I'll get at least somewhat caught up before he comes out in the MCU.
Nice.
So George Niebert, he says Spider-Man is the best. And I could kind of see that. Spider-Man is just so much fun. I mean, Peter, the way with what's the actor's name? I cannot remember.
Tom Holland.
Yes, thank you. The way he portrays Peter Parker and Spider-Man, just so perfect. And when you see interviews of Tom Holland, it's so funny because that's him. I mean, he is Peter Parker. I mean, it's just so perfect. Yeah, he is. Oh man, it's one of those. They're watching him closely, making sure he doesn't spoil anything. Oh man, if he I would be mad at him if he spoiled anything from Endgame.
Oh yeah, same here.
But yeah, so And see, George agrees. Whiplash did nothing for the MCU.
Oh. I hate one-off characters.
Yeah. It was just, it was an entertaining movie. It was pretty fun, but still just didn't do anything for me. So, but now let me ask you this though: what is your take on Ant-Man?
I loved Ant-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually weird enough living 15 minutes away from San Francisco when that movie was being shot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, had I been able to get off work, I would have been an extra. But I was super pissed about that.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved that movie though. That Ant-Man was by far the furthest thing from the path laid from the MCU, and it worked so amazingly.
And that's it. It is so underrated, in my opinion. And I understand why fans of the previous Marvel movies that came before it weren't as big a fan of it, because it was very different. It just kind of took things in just the humor, focused so much more on the humor of it. And I think it was perfect. It was the perfect addition, and especially at that point in time within the movies that were coming out, because that came out right before Ragnarok. Or no, it was.
I think it was the end of phase 2. Was it phase 2? I think it came out right before Black Panther, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's there's, and before that was another one that was more serious, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look, because that's going to drive me crazy. Because it was almost like a reprieve from the serious storylines going on. In a lot of ways, because you had it came out in 2015, which was, let's see, after the Dark World. What was in 2014?
Yeah, this was actually, I was wrong. It came out way before Black Panther. It came out right after Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yep. And then what was right after? Because that was 2015. So you had, Civil War was the big one after that. So yeah, you had I just lost it. Anyways, yeah, so I just think that they did a good job of kind of putting that in the middle of some serious ones to kind of break it up a bit. And I was really surprised. It just did not get the reception I expected. I loved it. Now, Ant-Man and Wasp, I think that's a really good lead up to Endgame. Yeah. I think that, and I cannot wait to see what part he plays in that. Yeah, I have some ideas, but I'm sure they're way out there in left field,
Possibly
not. Well, I mean, look at where he is right now. At least at this point in time where he supposedly is and everything. It's like that itself is way out there in left field. So who knows? I mean, it could end up being pretty cool. I think he's going to have a huge part to play in what happens. So, well, I mean, look in the trailer, him going up to the door, knocking on it, and the camera. Yeah, so I'm excited. Should be interesting. But I think in the actor. I'm horrible with actors' names, by the way.
Paul Rudd.
Yes, thank you. He does such a great job. He plays it so well. Just that, not so much arrogant, but just he could care less type of attitude. I mean, it's perfect.
Well, I agree.
But yeah, so what about you? Anything? Is there a specific movie that really? It may not be your favorite, but that just seems to kind of embody MCU in a way. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Homecoming. Okay, yeah.
So like George, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I when I was 15, I got my very first tattoo. It's Spider-Man, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. But I thought that the way they did it, made him a kid. They did it right. They have him partnered up with Tony Stark, who is essentially the father figure to him, but a guy that basically has no business being a dad.
Right.
It's just they did it so well that I can't think of another way they could have done it as great and kept the MCU intact with the same feeling.
Yes.
So it'd definitely be Homecoming for me.
Right. Now, have you played the Spider-Man game? No. And I haven't either. George is a huge fan of it. He might actually have 100% completion now. I'm not sure. Hey, Jonathan Karstens. What's up, man? Welcome to our little podcast here. But yeah, he loves that game, and I've considered getting it, but definitely have to wait now since I just got Devil May Cry. So
I bought it. I just haven't played it yet.
You actually have it?
Yeah, it was like buy two get one free at Target a month ago.
Nice.
I haven't had any time. I've been way too busy.
No, yeah, I understand that. Actually, just the little time I've played on Devil May Cry is the most I've played in a month. Life gets busy. Yeah, priorities. So, all right. Yep, the Spider-Man game, George. All right. So, all right. Well, now our monthly theme for March is action movies. Basically, our favorites and all that, which you grabbed two of my favorites, by the way.
Well, you grabbed three of mine.
Oh, there you go. So I'll let you start off, though.
All right. I want to get this one out of the way because I'm a fan of just overall stories, and if it can continue, I love it because I get more character progression.
Right.
So I'm definitely a huge fan of Fast and the Furious. As ridiculous as it gets in that series, I love all the characters. I'm going to go off the beaten path and also say Tokyo Drift is a favorite of mine.
Really?
I absolutely love that movie.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, absolutely. I wouldn't of the Fast and Furious movies. It's definitely not my favorite. Not in my top 5 of them, actually. But definitely a good movie overall.
Yeah, I'll agree. I loved how Vin Diesel came back and did basically started the whole series coming back with Fast and Furious instead of the Fast and the Furious,
right?
Just Fast and Furious. That was the moment all the characters started progressing and you got to see what a family was to them and how the whole theme of family actually runs through the whole series.
Oh, absolutely, and that I will agree with you. They played that the family in there just so well. But yeah, I'm a big fan too. Although I will say I have not watched the last one.
It's good.
What's that?
It's good.
Yeah, it looks good. I just haven't had the opportunity, motivation to pursue it. But yeah, absolutely love the rest of the series. It's a great series.
You got to watch the last one before you watch Hobbs and Shaw.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. How about you? What's your action movie pick? One of three.
Well, I will. I'll start off with the Lethal Weapon series. Just a classic. Just classic all around action. I mean, Riggs. Riggs. It just so much fun, and I'm getting too old for this stuff. Just so classic. Some great lines that are memorable for all time. And just seriously, just over the top fun action. I mean, that's what it's all about. People, worry so much about getting some really deep, meaningful story, and it's like, why can't we just have some big explosions, great gunfights, some good old chase scenes down the highway and everything? Shoot, that's what I love. So
they essentially just boxed up LA in the '90s and put it into a movie. So
right there, you go. But yeah, definitely still one of my favorite series of all time.
Oh yeah, no, I will totally agree. I love the movie so much, and then subsequently got into the show. So I will definitely agree. Lethal Weapon is definitely it's up there with that.
I will be honest. I have not watched the show, and I haven't watched it on purpose because it's not them. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just one of those where I've considered it, but I'm really hesitant because it's not going to be the same.
True. It's not the same.
Right.
It's definitely, it's got the action,
mm-hmm.
and it's got the comedy.
Right.
But the characters are so different that it makes it its own show.
Right. And if I can get that block out of my mind, that allows me to go into it not expecting Lethal Weapon, then I might be able to do it eventually, but I don't know yet. I'll have to see.
They could have definitely called it something else and kept Murtaugh Riggs. It could have been called Murtaugh Riggs.
Right. That would have been a great name. Why didn't they do that? See, you should. They should have called you and seen what you said. So
I'm here, guys. You can have my number.
All right. So what's another one of your picks?
I'm going to go out with John Wick. It's so good. I mean,
yeah. I got my puppy laying right beside me here. If anybody did to my dog what they did to his, oh man, it'd be on. It'd be on, man.
You wouldn't think that a story like that would come from that, though. I think that's what really got me into it was, what's John Wick about? These people killed his dog. Wait. What?
Yeah.
Why is everybody talking about how this movie is so good? So I finally watched it, understood completely that it is basically it's just a whole testosterone trip movie. I mean, there's nothing in that movie that would have made me, there's nothing in that movie from the trailer that made me think, okay, it's going to have an amazing story.
Yeah.
It ended up being amazing, and
right.
You find out that there's a history behind the guy.
That is one of the best things of the movie is the whole the Assassin's Guild, whatever you want to call it, going on. And just how in depth they go into that, and especially in the second one, with that. Oh man, I cannot wait to see the third one. Oh, that is going to be so good.
And you got the show coming out, The Continental.
Yeah. Oh, they actually have a show coming out?
Yep, and Keanu Reeves is going to be part of it.
Really?
Yep, it's called The Continental. So it's all about that.
Yeah. Ooh, I did not hear that. That's surprising. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I have both of 1 and 2, and every once in a while I'll just watch them both back to back. Every few months or so, just because they are the like you were saying, just a whole bunch of testosterone fuel, but with that great story, the background, gets to your heartstrings in a couple points, even. I was like, oh yeah, good movies, well done. I really like you. I was not sure what to expect going in. I really wasn't. It was like, is it just going to be another action with some martial arts or whatever, or is there going to actually be something more to it? Oh man, they did such a great job.
Oh yeah, no, I will agree. Like I said, I walked into the movie I had not seen a trailer until somebody told me what the movie is about. It's about a guy getting his dog killed, and then I watched the trailer, and then I watched the movie, and I was yeah. Okay, so that was my second one. What's your second one?
All right. Well, kind of along the same lines of Lethal Weapon, Die Hard. Like, the whole series. Dude, seriously, that's awesome. How did I not see that before? Nice. Yes, Bruce Willis is one of my favorite actors. Love him and everything. I've seen him in. Like Unbreakable is another one of his movies I love. But yes, Die Hard. I grew up on Die Hard, and yes, the first one is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. Yep, it just perfect. It epitomizes action movies. The one-liners. I mean, just so perfectly done. And
oh yeah.
Even what's the one with this? The last one with his son, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not as critical of it as a lot of people are. It wasn't as good as the others, so I'll give them that. It's my least favorite, but it's still a lot of fun. And one actually, the Live Free or Die Hard. The one where the whole fire sale stuff going on, where they're attacking the infrastructure and all that. That would be, I would have to say that one is not my favorite. The original is the first one is obviously my favorite. It's got to be. But then I would actually say that one would be tied for second.
Oh yeah.
I think they and I've heard a lot of people saying it wasn't. It was like their least favorite of the series. It's like, no, they did such a great job at bringing in, I can't remember their actor's name, but bringing him in, just such a dorky, nerdy guy, and hooking up with his daughter and everything. I just love it. But
I love that movie, especially being an IT nerd.
What's that?
Oh, being in IT, I really enjoyed that.
Yes. I mean, obviously we're all nerds here, but I've built computers. I was actually going to school for electronics engineering and stuff. I love all that stuff. And the sad thing is, people don't realize it's actually possible that could happen at some point in time. Something along those lines, anyways.
Oh yeah.
But, right. But yeah, I love the action of them, the one-liners. Some decent comedy too. I think Lethal Weapon has Die Hard beat on the comedy though. But it's still just so well done. But all right. Well, we got one more piece. What is your final movie?
Okay. So my final action movies would be The Expendables. And it's only because it takes everyone that I've ever grown up with in any type of action setting. Puts them in there. Like, you have Schwarzenegger, you have Stallone, you have Terry Crews, which has become one of my top 5 favorite actors of all time lately.
Oh man, he is amazing. I love him.
He's so cool. And who else you got? You got Jet Li, Bruce Willis,
right?
Wesley Snipes,
Chuck Norris,
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Scott Adkins. Who else? Man,
What's his name? Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph
Where
Lundgren.
everybody, yeah, that's the movie where everybody found out, holy crap, this guy actually is smart.
Oh yeah,
So all his PhDs and everything.
right. Oh,
Crazy.
I tell you, and this is the thing. It takes those 80s, like the 80s classic action movies and ups it. Just takes it, and it's like literally showing people that they take movies too seriously, first off. And they make everything just over the top, beyond any of the ones we've already been talking about. Makes the explosions, the fight scenes. I mean, it's ridiculously over the top how all of it goes, and it's great. I'm a huge fan. I have all three of them. Watch it kind of the same way with John Wick. I'll string all of them together and watch them one after the other, within a couple of days. Just great movies.
Oh yeah, no, I can't get enough of them. I mean, I'm still trying to remember the third one. The third one was when they introduced the young guys, right?
The what?
The third one was where they introduced the young guys.
Yeah, like Ronda Rousey,
Oh, Hemsworth,
yeah, the sniper, yeah.
Kelly, and all them. So you had them. Say again?
Oh, you broke up there. What was that? Sorry.
Oh, I said you had Kellen Lutz and them. Who else was in that? Antonio Banderas.
Oh yeah.
I forgot even Mel Gibson.
Oh, duh, yeah.
Forgot.
How can we forget Mel? I mean, seriously.
Right? Harrison Ford. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And they did it. They did it in a way. I mean, they were just like literally just putting as many action stars in there as possible, but they did it in just the perfect way.
Yep.
It was like how they would bring them in, and Antonio Banderas as a bad guy was just amazing. He's always the good guy. So to see him,
he was the older guy in that one.
Right.
Antonio Banderas?
Huh?
Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
He was the older guy that was trying to act like the young guys did a job.
No, he was the bad guy, wasn't he?
I think.
Yeah, in the third one, he was the bad guy.
I don't know. I don't remember the third one all that much. I remember they introduced the young guys, but I don't.
Yeah.
That much.
He was. He was the bad guy. Had the group that they all the sniper, Kristen, Hemsworth, whatever, and ends up capturing him.
Oh, I gotta watch that movie again then. I remember the first and second one really good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first one really good because it had Stone Cold and Gary Daniels, which Gary Daniels is part of so many movies growing up that, like, pretty much all of USA Up All Night used to show all of his movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So
right. Or wait a minute. No, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the bad guy.
In that one?
Was it? Who was it? Man, now that's going to drive me crazy.
No, I think the third one was Mel Gibson, or maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. No, Jean-Claude Van Damme was a bad guy in the second one.
He was the bad guy in the second. I'm getting the second and third one confused. I'm kind of mashing them together. That's what it is.
It's all good because now I got to watch them all again, anyways.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's been about 6 months. Well, I see, and that was the thing. I didn't watch the third one the last time I watched them. I watched the first two and didn't get to the third one. So yeah,
I'm on 4K, so I gotta watch them again now.
Right.
What's your so now that we've done my three, what's your last one?
One of those that a lot of people would disagree with me on is The Matrix. the whole series. I actually enjoyed all three movies.
Well, I'm not one of those people that would disagree with that.
Okay, and this is the thing. The way they ended the series was a little odd, so to speak. But if you look, if you really watch through it, it leads up to it being really a kind of a spiritual thing in a way. Anyways, I mean, throughout the whole thing, he's the one, and but I just think I absolutely enjoyed it. It's got the technology like follow the white rabbit, at the very beginning, and just the way, and it was interesting how they would take little bits and pieces from the previous ones and then expound on them in the second and the third one without even needing it. So like the first one stands alone perfectly well. But then when you could watch that and be done and be fine. But as you go on, it's just like they keep bringing more and more stuff. And I was really surprised at how they were able to make more powerful enemies. When you're looking at the agents in the very first one, it's like, how can they make anything more powerful? And then they come out with all of these crazy other entities that are basically just random programs that went crazy or whatever. And I just think that they did a great job. I loved it. I haven't watched those in a couple years, actually. I need to watch them again. But
I'll agree with that. The characters and the way, I think that's one of the movies that expanded upon itself in so many different ways. For one, characters. For two, I say villains, but I'll characterize them as viruses.
There you go. They're not truly evil. They're literally just programs doing their job.
Exactly.
Now, the ones that are the rogue programs that basically got a sentient understanding and went rogue, those are the bad ones. They are. I have to say that because they chose to do that. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, you're right. They're just kind of a virus doing what they're supposed to. So,
I absolutely love those movies, and I can totally understand why all those three are your top picks.
yeah, right, yeah. We have very similar tastes in movies, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But all right, well, we're getting ready to wrap up here, but we do wanted to mention Nintendo just showed they're doing the Labo VR kits. And this is something I find interesting. I don't think I'll get it. Just because, for one thing, I'm not a huge fan of VR, at least not yet. I thought PlayStation VR was pretty good. I played some Skyrim on it and had fun. But the technology is just not where I want it to be to actually enjoy it enough. But I do think it's a good thing for like kids and stuff. They actually build these attachments and all that. It looks interesting. It could be fun for some kids. But definitely something I would say, if you got kids, check it out. It could be a lot of fun. Who knows? And let us know on the Alpha Nerds Facebook page if you get it and if you like it.
I will be getting it.
Oh, you are?
I will. I'm a huge advocate for the Switch now. My kids wanted it, and my wife loves the Mario, so we ended up getting the Switch, and everything about it so far has just been fun. I mean, I can honestly say that I can jump on the Switch any time of the day and have fun. Whereas if I'm playing the Xbox or the PlayStation, there's going to be those lull times. Just, let me go ahead and play, Apex Legends, or let me go ahead and play Fortnite, or let me go ahead and play any other just platform or any other platformer. Even Resident Evil. it feels like I'm kind of making myself play, but when I play the Switch, I'm actively engaged and having fun, and it's different for me. I don't know if it's because I'm a dad now or if like just what's happened. But no, I can honestly say the Switch has been my go-to platform for the past year and a half.
Right, and I'm the same way in a lot of ways. I haven't recently, but when I was playing the video games a lot, I play something on like the PlayStation or Xbox, whatever, for a little while, and just get bored with it. But then I go to the Switch, and I always have fun with it. I have Smash Bros. And Super Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild, and all these games, and there's even smaller games, all the little indies and stuff, and they're, like you say, it get more interactive with it in some ways, kind of just really get into it more a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say is certain exclusives outside of the Switch means I will never just be a Switch guy. I'll still have, you look at God of War on PlayStation, amazing game, and now Devil May Cry, obviously it's not on the Switch, so but what?
Well, soon enough, maybe, hopefully. I mean, with
Right.
Xbox going to Switch.
Well, true. That would be nice. But yeah, I love my Switch. I will. That's one I will never get rid of. Great system. So, and the Labo VR, it's a good addition to their already impressive library. I think with the Labo in general, I think it's really good, especially for younger kids, teenagers, even. I think there's a lot of fun there, and for some adults too. I wouldn't mind getting some of the Labo kits just to try it out, have some fun with it, build things, whatever. I enjoy that sort of things. I've done robotics in the past, so definitely could see myself getting into it. But the VR, I don't know. I just, for one thing, it gives me headaches if it's not good enough. If it doesn't have good resolution, good graphics or whatever, it gives me headaches. So that's one of the big reasons why I probably won't be getting it. But we'll see.
Well, I'll get it just to hopefully be able to play Mario in VR.
That would be pretty cool. But all right. Well, did you have any other news? Any bit of trivia?
I do not, sadly.
Oh, that's cool. Well, we do have the streamer of the month is this month is Dagger for Hire. Definitely check them out if you get a chance. And yeah, so after that, now, did you have anything else you want to add, or?
Just hoping to play some games and watch some movies soon. Hoping
Right.
for life to settle down and be able to do it.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Well, hey, everybody, we really appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, Friday free-for-alls next week. And yeah, that should be about it right now. But you all have a wonderful week.
Later on, everybody.
All right, thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Bye.